talked about how we can make an effect on people, and after a lot of brainstorming we decided to do something that shows a day in the life of something, whatever. We narrowed down all the ideas that we had to child labor, and then we started to do brainstorming again on how we want to do that and how we can make it more effective and more immersive.
We were particularly interested in this idea of comparing children who grow up in a world where child labor is normal to the life of a child living in America. We became particularly interested in this idea of the quantified childhood. You know, you look at the kids who grow up in these factories, and they're making thousands of products an hour, or working on thousands of products an hour. You know, times working 12 hours a day and 6 to 7 days a week. What does that look like? A child in those conditions can quantify their childhood by saying, this is what I did. And to compare that to a child in the United States who maybe has to do an hour of homework a day for 5 days a week, and to compare the contrast of the numbers, we thought would be particularly impactful. When you first walk in that hallway, those green screens right there are going to be playing videos, and they're going to be showing hands that are doing something repetitive, building something, making something.
You come to the end of the hall and you have a stand where you receive product cards, and our thinking behind this was that it's an opportunity to actually get everyday objects or everyday things that people ordinarily interact with and make it relevant to our topic of child labor. So they receive these product cards that have everyday items on there, such as their cell phone or some type of clothing item. They turn the corner. When they turn the corner, they're walking into this room where these almost ethereal rays of light. The minute that they come near it, there's a spark and there's an attraction. These rays of lights are sensory activated and display the stories of those product cards.
It will show the background and like the production of that product in factories, and then related to child labor in that certain industry, and the lives that children have working in those companies.
My dad says you can't be a tough guy in underwear that shrinks a lot, so we wear Hanes. He says it's made with stuff that fits good.
আমাদের তো এমন ছিল না যে আমরা গার্মেন্টস করব, কিন্তু খনিকে লেখা হয়ে গেছে গার্মেন্টস। খুবই খারাপ লাগে, ভাই বোন সবাই গার্মেন্টস করি। গার্মেন্টস একটা কষ্ট জায়গা, ওটা তো আর সুখের জায়গা না।
তোমার বয়স কত?
11.
I'm 11 years old.
How much does she earn? What's her wages?
তুমি মাসে কত বেতন পাও?
930.
930 টাকা।
And do the supervisors ever yell at the helpers or yell at the young workers?
সুপারভাইজাররা কি তোমাদেরকে বকাঝকা বা গালমন্দ করে?
একদিন না গেলে পরের দিন গেলে মারে বকায়।
If I remain absent one day, the following day they will beat and they will shout at us.
খারাপ আচরণ করে।
কি খারাপ কি?
কাজে একটু ভুল হলে খারাপ হলে মারে বকায়।
আমাদের এক সময় মেয়েরা গার্মেন্টস করতো না, এখন দেখি ক্যাডের দায়ে সব মেয়েরাই গার্মেন্টস করতে আসে। মা ভাই বোনদের নির্যাতন সহ্য না করতে পারে গার্মেন্টসে চলে আসে।
Those same stations is where we engage them and ask them to tell us their own stories in a way that quantifies their childhood. What does their childhood look like in numbers?
Experiencing some of the other elements in the room, including another large screen that they have on the back wall, and proceeding towards the exit. Guests or people who are in the museum are posed with a choice. They actually made a decision on whether they actually want to do something about child labor.
And whenever people leave the exhibit, we give them that choice to pay the difference between a product that was manufactured using child labor and a product that uses ethical labor practices.
To test the exhibit, we knew that we wanted to focus on the narrative of the exhibit and the stories of child laborers and those manufacturing processes, and we weren't actually going to build a full-scale model, but we wanted to test the concept and the stories. So we created 3 videos that are examples of videos that could be used and projected in this exhibit. And we took our participants on a sort of emotional journey through the exhibit. We showed them our mock-ups of what it would look like and shared the videos with them.
I'm surprised. I expected the low wages, but I didn't expect them to actually beat the kids. It's pretty bad.
These children are being deprived of opportunities that everyone kind of deserves, especially when you think about yourself. My parents never, they gave me everything I needed. These kids don't have, everything they need to grow up into, being, reaching their full potential as adults.
And people may not initially realize what it's about, but the theme is consistent enough throughout the project that the numbers start making connections and people realize where they're coming from. And so we want to first sort of intrigue them and then move them to share their own story and contribute to the exhibit.